Hi my beautiful friends, welcome back to DaydreamersBarn. Today I am going to take you on a voiceover tour of what we enjoyed of the Ely Cathedral. Unfortunately, due to copyright reasons, I am going to have to add our own music because the beautiful orchestra was practicing. So I really hope you come along and enjoy this tour.
Here we are at the galley porch and main entrance. It was built in the early English Gothic style. It was so gorgeous. Here we are in the West Tower, completed in the late 14th century. Right now we're standing on a Victorian labyrinth. If you follow it around, it runs the same distance as the height of the tower. With its twists and turns, it reminds us that life is far from straightforward. Here we are, just enjoying checking out the gift shop before entering the cathedral. Here we are in the nave, which means ship, and it was built by the Normans. Most of the stained glass in the cathedral is Victorian, depicting different scenes from the Bible. Here I am just being a mom. The ceiling, also painted in Victorian times, is the work of two artists. I am adding a little information about both of the artists on the screen, just so I don't mispronounce their names. Take in the beauty of the round Norman arches and the remains of the medieval decoration. Our entire family was in awe of how magnificent this cathedral was at first sight. We've been able to enjoy the outside, but being able to come inside and take it all in was quite fantastic. Looking at oven stone, this is probably the oldest Saxon artifact on display in Ely Cathedral that dates back to the late 8th century. Dr. Mill taught in India before becoming professor of Hebrew at the University of Cambridge. Bishop Woodford founded Ely Theological College, which offered training for the priesthood. These angels from the 17th century Oregon case were conserved and placed here in memory of Thomas Cock. We are now in the north and south transepts. They are the oldest part of the cathedral still standing, dating from around 1090. It's truly easy to miss the basic footprints of the cathedral, which is a huge cross, the central symbol of Christianity. We are now in the choir. Built in the 14th century, the choir, stalls, and carved seats date from the 14th and the 19th centuries. An organ was first built at the Ely Cathedral in 1685. We are now in St. Etheldreda Chapel. This is a small-scale exhibit of St. Etheldreda that highlights 4 key stages of her life. She was the founder of Ely. After fleeing her husband the king, she headed back to East Anglia, where she took the vow and founded the great Abbey of Ely. This is the great east window that tells the story of Jesus' birth, ministry, death, and reincarnation. Hopefully I'm saying this correct. Bishop Alcock's Chapel commenced in 1488. This is a place of prayer for victims of torture and persecution. This window commemorates those who fought and died with Bomber Command in World War II. Now we're heading into Lady Chapel. This was personally my favorite part of the tour. The Lady Chapel, the largest of its kind in England, is dedicated to the Blessed Virgin Mary, Mother of Jesus. I absolutely loved the ceilings and the architecture throughout. Completed in 1349, it was once richly adorned with statues of saints, bright paintwork, and stained glass. However, in 1541, after the dissolution of the monastery, the windows were smashed and sculptures removed or defaced. It reminds us of Christ's brokenness and death on the cross. We are now entering St. Dunstan's Chapel, which is available for prayer and reflection. This is an exhibit called Threads Through Creation. It runs from July 1st through July 26th. The first few sentences in the first book of the Bible, Genesis, tells a universal story. Panel 1, titled In the Beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Panel 2, titled God Spoke Light, and God said, Let there be light, and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day and the darkness night. And there was evening and there was morning the first day. Panel 3, titled God Spoke Water, and God said, Let there be a vault between the water to separate the water from water. So God made the vault and separated the water under the vault from the water above it. Panel 4, God spoke a green earth. Then God said, Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, and the trees on the land that bear fruit with the seeds in it, according to their various kinds, and it was so. Panel 5, Universe. And God said, Let there be light in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and it was so. God made two great lights, the greater light to govern the day and the lesser light to govern the night. So he also made stars. Panel 6, Water and sky splash with color. And God said, Let the water teem with living creatures, and let the birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky. And God saw that it was good. Panel 7, Earth dance with creatures, and God said, Let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds. Then God said, Let us make mankind in our own image. So God created mankind in his image. In the image of God he created them. Male and female he created them. Panel 8, God rested, and it was all good. The heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Panel 9, Danger, a snake in the garden. How you have fallen from heaven, morning star, the son of dawn. You have been cast down to earth. Panel 10, two trees, two keepers. In the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The Lord God commanded the men, You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die. Panel 11, Critical Choice. You will not certainly die, the serpent said to the woman, for God knows that when you eat it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. She took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband, who was there with her, and he ate it. Panel 12, Goodbye, Eden. The Lord God said that the man now is become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take from the tree of life and eat and live forever. So the Lord God banished him from the Garden of Eden. Here's a lovely exhibit inspired by St. Etheldreda. These were necklaces made from lace or ribbon and were known as tawdries. Over time, fashion changed and these became seen as poor quality. The local artists considered how concepts of fashion and taste are linked to the idea about women's appearance and behavior. Here we are exiting the south door, or what's called the monk's door, leads into the remains of the south cloister. I just wanted to take a minute and say thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye, y'all.